Alright, so it's January 9th, about 9:30 in the morning. Day one, back on my juices. I was craving that. Uh, yeah, just got out of the gym. Was in the gym for about 2.5 hours, including my sauna and shower time. Feeling good now, and I wrote as soon as I woke up, so I'll be reading from my notebook and commentating along the way. So here I go. Let's begin. Day one back on the juice. So it's day one back on the juice. Day after my experiment with cooked food. I slept for 13 hours from 3 p.m. to 4 a.m. I was hurting so bad before I slept that waking up this morning was a relief. I almost felt back to normal. When I woke up, I almost felt like I was back to normal, but that was until I stood up. My belly felt heavy, which after a few steps, my insides felt very sick. I immediately started drinking juice, and now things are moving a lot. A bunch of gurgling in my stomach and gas, non-stop gas, and I feel a poop working its way. Okay, so I just took a shit and it gave me much relief. The one time I did wake up during this 13 hours was around 6 p.m. yesterday. I woke up and oh my god, I felt horrible. It felt like I was going to explode out of both ends. I had to sit up and do some torso movements, like move my hips in a circle, bring my shoulders back, bring my chest out, and stretch out my abdomen, and then curl and stretch out my back. I had to move in all directions, side to side. Yeah, so I had to do some torso movements to aid that digestion. Soon after, I went to the bathroom, which was my first shit after eating the cooked meal. Yeah, so when I did those, when I was helping digest all that food I ate, doing those movements helped me take my first shit in the day after eating cooked food. When I woke up, the indigestion was terrible. I mean, it was just so bad. Even when I tried going back to sleep after I took that first shit, just all ways I laid down, it was horrible, man. I couldn't drink my juice nor look at my phone without the nausea getting much worse. Yeah, so I was getting, when I woke back up that one time, yeah, I couldn't look. As soon as I looked at my phone, it made me nauseous. I just had to sit there and breathe slow and relax. One more note, I only pissed one time that entire 13 hours of sleeping. Yeah, so like being on this juice, my normal sleep schedule is about 7 to 9 hours, but I'll piss 6 to 8 times in that one night. Those 13 hours I just slept, I only pissed one time. As I'll explain after about how as I'll explain later about how that food was, about how dry. As I'll explain later about how dry that food was, it is so dry and not supposed to be in our bodies at all that it was robbing me of my water. All the way from drying out my mouth to taking away my need to piss, as I'll explain later. Okay, now let's talk about the start of it all. At first, I wasn't going to eat until after work, but I thought it would be a better idea to do so. So my first break started at 6 a.m. At this time, I needed to piss a little, but nothing major, so I didn't go and take a piss. I went and ate 1.5 things of noodles, which I just threw away at the gym. I was going to show you, but it's a 12-ounce container. I got 3 different flavors of noodles, from sesame noodles to bean noodles to very saucy and Asian style noodles, tortellini pasta type deal, no cheese, but like tortellini. Um, uh, Yeah, so I got those three types of noodles. The first few bites were very flavorful. Each bite I took, I chewed for as long as I could before I swallowed. So anywhere from 20 to 30 bites, I chewed that same bite. I chewed thoroughly as much as I could until it was as liquefied as I could get it, and then I'd swallow it. You know, I wasn't eating this in a way of indulgence. I was being very smart and mindful while eating, and paying very close attention to how it was affecting me. I wasn't eating for taste. I was eating as experimentation. Because I was thoroughly chewing and being mindful of the reactions going on as I was chewing my first bite, I could literally feel dopamine being released. When I drink juice, I feel I am receiving hydration and energy, electricity that rises my state of being, and it is sustaining. There's no crash. It's building on to my state of being. It's building on to my health, and it's like I'm improving second after second, moment after moment. Whereas eating dry cooked food sent off feel good hormones like a drug. Though these bites were flavorful, they tasted like fake food. I mean, I could taste the flavoring in them, but it felt like a concoction to make you addicted, literally. Not natural and not true nourishment. All it made me want to take, all it did was it made me want to take more bites. That's it. As with the juice, I don't ever chug down my juice. I don't sit and chug on my juice. I take one sip and I swish it around my mouth as if I were chewing it. Then I would swallow, and then I'll take another single sip and do the same. So I got through the first bowl and a half of noodles. I hardly felt much of an effect. I got back into work and realized I no longer had to piss. Back into work. Oh, I was feeling okay. Then boom, I was feeling okay. I was like, all right, I don't feel much of an effect. I no longer have to piss, which I'm telling you, that dry food robs you of your hydration. Takes water from anywhere that it can, or your body to protect you from the chemicals from that food, so it's not acidifying your blood, acidifying your body, doing too much damage. It wraps it up into a protection, a water soluble protection. You know, fat wraps it up in fat, wraps it up in water and fat. It protects. It wraps up those damaging chemicals, those things that are not supposed to be in your body, and it keeps it from hurting you. So yeah, I was feeling okay. Then boom, 10 minutes into working, and I started getting a slight headache. I started feeling demotivated. I started being lazy with my movement. I already didn't want to be there, but when I was on the juice, when I'm on the juice, I make the best of it. Like, I already don't want to be there, right? In the first place, even when I'm on the juice and I feel good, I don't want to be at work. Fuck work. But I make the best of it. When I'm on my juice, I've been making the best of it. I've changed my mindset on it. I view it as as a way of working out, so I'm more mindful in my movements. I'm more mindful in how I use my body, and I squat up and down and I overhead press and do all that. I look at it as just an opportunity to get my body moving and help that juice aid me in my digestion. So like all that movement is helping the juice work through my intestines and such. I view it as a way to keep I view it as a way to help get the juice into all the places it needs to go with all the squats and overhead pressing that I do. I'm very alert, energetic, and smooth with my movement at work. I take the extra step and make sure things are stacked correctly and nicely and everything looks good. After that, just after that first meal, I was slowly giving zero fucks. I dreaded squatting down and picking up cases. I dreaded squatting down and picking up, because as time went on, the feeling in my stomach was getting heavier and feeling denser. Now my second break comes around, 9 a.m. and I eat another 1.5 bowls of noodles. Because of how the first meal brought down my state of being. So yeah, that first, after I got that high from the first bowl and a half on my first break, it gave me that high, then it gave me that crash. I started just not wanting to be at work at all. I was just trying to get through my work. I was dreading the time until the end of my shift. I just wanted to get out of there already. And so because of how the first meal brought down my state of being, as soon as I started eating this second meal, I could feel the dopamine effects majorly and immediately. Like it was like it hit me with that high. I was like, wow, this shit is literally a drug. It is terrible for you, but it is made to taste so damn good to make you want more. And because it makes you feel low after a while after consuming, and you go to eat again and out of nowhere you're feeling renewed again, you start praising and worshiping the food now. So let me read that again. It is so terrible for you, but it is made to taste so damn good to make you want more. And because of it, it makes you feel like shit. And then you remember, oh, well, what made me feel good? The food. And so, because it makes you feel low after a while after consuming, and you go to eat again, and out of nowhere, you're feeling renewed again. Your mood is lifted, the pain is numbed. You start praising and worshiping the food now. Wow. The elated feeling you get from cooked processed food versus real and natural food like juice or raw are completely different, as one is sustaining and the other isn't. Real food does not give you and should not give you withdrawal symptoms. You shouldn't be dealing with withdrawal symptoms or side effects from eating real food. Real food should be giving you energy. Real food should make you feel good. Now, you can overeat on real food and it can mess you up. It can make you feel overly bloated and make you want to lay down and such. But, that usually digests much quicker than fake food. But anyways, but real food, any food at all should not be giving you withdrawal symptoms. It should not make you feel like shit. It should not make you overeat and indulge in, so many things. I only pissed once at work. I could tell this dry concoction was robbing my body of hydration. I only pissed once at work. I pissed multiple times at work. I usually take 1 to 2 shits at work. I got off work at 12 p.m., went to my car and started eating 1 bowl, my 4th bowl. I couldn't finish it. I didn't want it. The taste wasn't even there anymore. So I went to Aldi to get stuff for my juicing. Afterwards, I told myself, let's go ahead and get Chipotle out of the way. Went to Chipotle and only got a quarter of the way into my bowl. Immediately threw it away. Because these were the things I've been craving, that would come to my craving was flavorful, saucy noodles, soupy noodles, soup, sandwiches, and beans and rice, bean burritos, something like that. And so, you know, I was like, let's go to Chipotle, because I usually get a veggie bowl, you know, with the guac and the beans and rice and such, and whatever sauces and shit. But I pack my bowls. Like before, Chipotle was my go-to before for a quick, hefty meal, and I would get 2 bowls. And the reason why I started getting bowls instead of burritos is because a bowl came with so much more that I could make up to 2 burritos with them. If I wanted to make a burrito out of my bowl, I could, with their tortillas, which their tortillas are really big, I could make 2 burritos and still have some of the bowl left. So it was like a hack in the Chipotle, because you could get a bowl for the same price as a burrito, but get more of the food by getting a bowl and a tortilla on the side. And so I would get 2 bowls before, and that's just how much I could eat at one time. And I would eat more after that, because I mean, I would wait like 30 minutes to an hour after eating 2 bowls and then be ready to eat more. But this time, yeah, so I went to Chipotle and threw away my entire bowl as I barely got a quarter of the way into it. Tasted completely fake. Yeah, just it was not satisfying at all. I mean, after my second break, all I wanted was juice. Like after that second break, I was chugging down juice to just clean out my mouth, and it's just why I wanted some hydration, needed some hydration. And by the time I got to Chipotle, you know, it was the same thing. I just wanted juice. I was like, I just want to get back on my juice. On times I indulge like this. Yeah, so on times I would indulge like this, like before, when I would try to go on a diet, or I would do a 48, 72 hour fast. As soon as I come off, or I cheat on a diet, and I'd be like, today would be a cheat day, and I'll just eat what I'm craving. That's how it would start. I'd start eating what I was craving, a burger, whatever. But as soon as I ate that, I was like, I wanted more and more and more, and which I write. So on times I indulge like this, I'll start craving everything from a bakery of muffins and pies to sandwiches and tacos. I'll eat a large range of food in just one night. That was not the case today. I had zero interest in anything but juice. I was even wishing I never did this, because 1, it was nice outside, and 2, I wanted to go to the gym. My eyes felt heavy and my body lazy. I didn't feel sick though. I got home, tried finishing that 4th bowl of noodles, and ended up throwing it away. All I craved majorly was juice. I tried watching some videos. I put on some fighting, UFC, MMA types videos, but I immediately turned it off and went to sleep. Yeah, so, you know, I wasn't feeling terrible. I was feeling overly stuffed. You know, like I was definitely full to the brim. I wasn't majorly bloated, like nowhere how I used to get to, but I just knew if I ate anymore, I'd be in pain. And so I just stopped there. And like I said, I couldn't really even taste it anymore. It tasted more fake than anything. After a while, like I said, the only flavorful times was the first time, the first bowl, my first break. That was very flavorful, but quickly it started to diminish. And then when I went out for my lunch, I got that flavor again, but it wasn't like that first bite. So So yeah, I am very happy I experienced this. I woke up yesterday morning really talking myself out of it. Then was aware. Then when I got to work, I was aware of how good I felt while I was performing at work. Now noticing how good I felt moving around at work, this made me make the decision to eat during work. I knew this is where I could see a difference in the food from juicing to cooked food. Because if I just waited till after work, I would have just laid down and ate, and not much of a big difference. I wouldn't really notice much there. So that's why I was like, oh yeah, no, I should eat during work so I can see how it affects me while I'm moving around doing my normal things. This experience was much needed for me. My intentions and drive going back into juicing, I feel, is much stronger. This is my last cooked meal as I have zero desire for it ever again. I'm now full throttle towards the life I want to live now. So yeah, because I was talking myself out of it. I mean, I came up with every reason not to do it. I knew, like, just the knowledge and, okay, maybe the things that's making me want this is the mucoid plaque still being in me. My body's still detox. Now my body's hitting these heavier detoxes. As I said, I felt like I got to the point where a lot of the more recent meals that have accumulated in me, the more recent stuff, the stuff that isn't totally solidified into plaque, and all that newer and looser stuff got knocked off easy, and all that stuff came out of me. And now I felt like I was really starting to dig into the mucoid plaque, as because before I would take a shit, my stomach would hurt on the juice. My stomach would like get so sick, and I could tell like my body was breaking down that deeper toxifying stuff. And because as soon as I would shit, I felt amazing. Like I felt like that pain was never even there. So yeah, I felt like I was getting to a point where that 30 days to 35 days into my juicing, where I was finally starting to break down some bigger, more toxifying, more older stuff, the older stuff that has accumulated like from years back. Those things were finally starting to break up and come out of my body. Yeah, so I felt amazing. I felt amazing. What am I talking about? Yeah, I dealt with a lot of brain fog yesterday. I even made a video yesterday because I just wanted, you could see in the video, I didn't post it because I wasn't there. I was like, no, I'll make a video when I wake up in the morning. But yeah, so I woke up, wrote all this, and then went straight to the gym and just did a bunch of movement, just to help sweat this shit out of me. After the gym, I weighed 140 and a half. 2 days ago in the morning I weighed 136. So who knows how I ate about 4 to 5 pounds of food. So who knows how much I weighed after the food. And for me to only weigh 140 and a half, it's like, fuck, man. Because those were the things that were going through my mind. I was like, dude, my health is so good, I feel so great. I mean, why jeopardize this? Even like with Heather's comment, things like that, where she was like, if I was where you're at on your journey right now, I wouldn't risk it. Just things that were coming at me like that. Conversations with my dad, like it was just, there were so many reasons not to, but I just knew I wanted my last memory of food to see it for what it really was. Like I needed that solidarity because I could have pushed past it. I could have said no yesterday. I mean, I really had no desire, but I feel like it just would have kept coming back. And so now getting that experience, after getting that experience of being 35 days clean and eating a cooked meal and seeing how it affected me, even though the taste was good, even though the taste was very flavorful, it is not worth the way it makes you feel. It is not worth it. And it's not even, why would it even be worth it in the first place? I mean, it's literally fucking poison. It's a concoction of chemicals. It's altered by, it's food that you would never be able to eat unless you cooked it, which cooking kills the main nutrients in a food. Because the food we should be eating is hydrating, is electrifying. You know, you heat that, it kills off the electricity, it kills off the hydration, it kills off the biophotons, it kills off the nutrients. Yeah, so it's just, it's not worth consuming at all, even for the taste. Even if, let's say, even if I took 3 bites yesterday and I didn't eat to where it punished me majorly, and I didn't overeat on it, I just took 3 bites. How about that? Why not just take 3 bites? Why take 3 bites at all? The thing is, okay, it's a slight pleasure, but there's 0 fucking benefits to it. Why, you know, you can find pleasure in many other things, as in things that grow your knowledge, things that grow your capabilities, things that, you know, there's so much rewards that come from that, putting your time and effort into things which build you mentally and physically and emotionally and intellectually, you know. Those are much more rewarding. Those have much more pleasure in it, you know. Yeah, so like I said, very happy I got to experience that. Yeah, when I got home yesterday, I was so upset because I'm like, dude, it's so nice out. Like, I'd be outside walking around. I just wanted to be at the gym. I was like, oh my gosh, I could have been at the gym, you know, working on, because man, I've been getting so much stronger now, because I haven't worked out in so long, and being on this juice, like my soreness, I was recovering so quick, and I wasn't dealing with major sore or pain from working out, you know. My body was healing very quick, and so I just wanted to be able to move and walk around and have clarity of mind, but I did not have clarity of mind, that's for sure. I was just ready to take a nap. Even in that video I made yesterday that I was gonna post, you could just see it. My eyes were heavy, the brain fog, the pausing, yeah, it was just, yeah, it's just not worth it. But yeah, so this really helped me grow. This is gonna blast me into my path now. My intentions are just gonna be that much stronger. My knowing, like, now it is a knowing. Before, I knew, you know, okay, yes, I know this stuff is bad, but man, my memory of it was just, it was so pleasuring, and it brought so much satisfaction, you know. So I needed to experience that, to see, okay, it's pleasurable, but look at how it affects you. You know, before I couldn't notice that because I was that's all I ate, and so I was always feeling like shit. I was always at a low vibration. But now, having cultivated some energy, clean energy in me from the juicing, now having cleaned out my system some and actually elevated my state of being, eating that food, that too, that feeling I felt after eating that food was familiar. It was very familiar. It was like, oh wow, because I noticed after the first week of my juicing how my state of being just kept elevating day after day after day, and I started realizing, I was like, wow, that pain and suffering and mental torment I went through every day was me inflicting that own pain onto me. That was me doing that to myself. That was me. I found it so normal that I couldn't even tell what it was at the time until I stopped doing the things that hurt me, that toxified me, until I stopped doing those things and I tried something different and I stayed consistent in it, I started realizing, wow, I was self-inflicting my own pain and suffering. And that's what I'm saying. When I ate that meal yesterday, it felt so, that lower state of being, it felt so familiar. And I was like, oh wow, like I remember this feeling. This is usually how I felt before. I mean, now granted, I felt like that when I would start eating. That's why I would always eat at night, because and I always thought the next day I rejuvenated, right? Oh, I'm back to optimal. But my optimal was at a lower state of being. So I felt like I could eat like that every night, because by morning time it was like I replenished. But really, I never knew what it was like to actually feel healthy and feel good. And so, but yeah, so I wouldn't feel shitty until I started eating at night, but that was fine because that was usually the time I got everything done and my day was done. And so I would just indulge until I couldn't indulge anymore and pass out. And but that started catching up to me after the years. But yeah, so, but like today, I felt really good waking up, but as soon as I stood up, I was like, oh yeah, oh fuck, I feel that still. And but as I got talking, as soon as I woke up, I started drinking juice so I could get that initial shit out of me, and I did. I got a nice big shit out of me. And after I got done riding, tried laying down for a little bit. Now I was like, nah, I'm gonna go to the gym, hit the gym for 2.5 hours. Just got back here, immediately went back to the juice and started making this video. But yeah, my intentions, my meaning, my why is so much stronger now. So now when those cravings come, I'm not gonna feed into it. I'm not gonna indulge on food reels and watch food chefs and all that, you know, because now I'm really gonna look at it for the way the fuck it is and be like, that's a fucking drug that has brought so much pain and suffering into my life. There is no reason for that to even go in my body. That is the anchor point in our fucking enslavement. That is a big no-no. Why I need to face this craving. I need to reason as deep with it as I can and come back to my why, come back to my intentions, remind myself why the fuck I'm doing what I'm doing, and start cultivating that power again. And you know, just yeah, coming at it a lot more headstrong, because like I said, I don't ever plan to eat a cooked meal ever again in my life after that experience. Hell no. I mean, yeah, there's pleasure, there's flavor, but it's just not worth it. If I ever were to, it would be a bite. But what's the point in that, right? What even is the point in that? Yeah, so I'm all full throttle into the life I want to live, the life I want to start working my way towards. And yeah, get my health right, realign back to my true nature, allow my biological functioning to return to its natural state, and yeah, break all the shackles and chains which keep me tied into this enslavement. And yeah, practice my free will of what goes into my mouth, my ears, my nose, my eyes, you know, my skin. Practice that little free will I do have to the maximum I can, and reclaim my sovereignty, reclaim my authority, realign my body, mind, and spirit, clean out my temple so that I can have my spirit be re-embodied and piloting this avatar, you know, because that's the thing. Your spirit can't run this avatar if you're still all about this world, indulging into the breads and circuses and pleasures of this world. And because that's coming from your ego, so you're more operating out of your ego. You know, you can learn as much as you want to learn, you can talk all you want to talk, but if your actions are not in alignment with those thoughts and those words, it's all hearsay, you know, it's all bullshit. You can study, you can read, you can take notes all fucking day, but if you're still fully indulging into self-harm and self-destructive habits and still running off your programming that's coming from an ego, that's not your spirit. You can talk about spirituality all the fuck you want, but what are you worshiping throughout the day? What are you giving your attention to throughout the entire day? You know, what we place our attention to, we see as worth our time, our effort, our time, energy, and effort. You know, and by giving something your time, energy, and effort, you're worshiping it, you're idolizing it, you're praising it in some way, you're giving it your respect. And you know, there's so many things out here that take our attention. There's so many little things that take our attention, all the way from people who don't have our best interests, that we give all our time and energy to, worrying about their drama and their chaotic lives, you know, that won't do a thing to change with everything you tell them, and blah blah blah. You know, there's the drama in the world, there's the unnecessary demands from our society structure of working, of bills, of, you know, so many things taking our attention that we can reclaim our attention from. And that's what comes from recognizing and accepting how sick, dysfunctional, and twisted 180 degree from the truth this society fucking is. Because once you start recognizing exactly this reality for what it is, it helps with the detachment. And you realize, as you start detaching from chasing a status quo, from developing your ego, from caring about, you know, your status, how people think of you, how becoming a label in this society, you know, becoming respected by the masses of this society, becoming respected by your own family, you know, because most of them just want you to follow in line and do something of this world that's worldly, you know. And you know, when you start detaching from those behaviors and those ideas, even, it's not just physical things, it's not just possessions and materialistic things, it's behaviors, it's beliefs, it's yeah, it's all these expectancies from sick people, from egotistic people, from broken people. We got to break from those expectancies or expectations, and break from these unnecessary demands, and get back in alignment with real health, with true health, with our natural biological functioning, with our true nature, with our authenticity, you know, the spirit. Not acting out of ego, not dependent on things outside of us, not doing, not following authority, you know, not trying to fit into a sick and dysfunctional society. Yeah, and just recognizing and accepting those things, that helps with the detachment. And as you're detaching, you just notice, oh wow, like you have so much more time on your hands, you have so much of your attention back, and now you can start putting that back towards yourself, which yeah, really, it's a very interesting journey. That's for sure. But yeah, I'm super grateful this experience. Yeah, it fucking set me back a few steps with my development, with my progress. But you know what? It's like how I used to say, well, you got to spend money to make money. So, you know, I had to risk I had to risk a little of my life to gain more of my life, you know, because like I said, the determination now, the drive now, the intentions now are just so much stronger than they were those first 30 days. Because it was kind of like I was iffy those 30 days. Like it was, even though I knew, but I just didn't know. And now I fucking know, right? So, yeah, man, pretty awesome. Great things. I hope I hit on everything. Wish y'all the best of health and much ease on your journey, and look forward to hearing from y'all in the comments. I appreciate the comments for sure. The comments, it makes me happy knowing people are watching and have have interesting things to say back. So yeah, let's build, you know, let's speak our stories, let's speak our experiences and grow from there. All right, peace.